of the Panzer Elite armored cars, quickly hunting down my engineers, but they successfully get out. Having placed this here, thinking it would be in a good position, I turn out to be wrong, since sadly it doesn't have the time to react and ends up getting surrounded and shot to pieces. So that was a rather foolish decision by me, and one which I regret. Probably machine gun team regrets as well. Moving up, and he's by now equipped most of his men with MP44s, thinking that's going to do, and I lose the Jeep because I move it up too far ahead. His Panzer Grenadier is already suffering losses. He's gone for incendiary grenades as well, figuring that's going to keep me out of cover, and he loses another Panzer Grenadier team. While at the same time the ones you have are wounded and lagging men. A BAR is dropped. Probably he doesn't see it or what, but if he does, probably should have picked it up with, for example, the Gewehr 43 equipped Panzer Grenadier team. Moving up the armored car for a quick attempt at making some easy kills, killing off one of the rifleman teams and my engineer team, and then pulling out. Nice amount of losses, and normally I wouldn't suggest moving in for a raid like that, but here it paid off. At the same time, I'm moving up troops to catch the Panzer Grenadiers on where he's caught some further injuries, and I should be calling in some Rangers
heavy infantry reserves are
to
now
help deal with the armored car, and that's what in fact I do here. Firing off bazookas, one actually hitting and almost destroying an armored car. But at the same time, my riflemen keep the Panzer Grenadiers tied down and retreating at the side of my Rangers. And the Panzer Elite armored car crashing into another mine I laid down in the same place as the previous one, which is something I can recommend, as some people seem to think that once a mine's gone off, there's not going to appear another. And it does illustrate another problem with some players. They don't seem to bother getting any sort of mine detection if they encounter mines, because, well, they think perhaps there's not more. And really, if you see mines, get some minesweepers if you can, or if you're the Panzer Elite, for example, go for Cat and Cratch, Wimbarkens, or go for the upgrade for the Panzer Grenadier teams you can get from the Kampfgruppe command, which can help. And I've gone for another heavy machine gun team, figuring that second time I must have some bit of luck. The MP44 equipped Panzer Grenadiers and Assault Grenadiers move ahead, forcing my Rangers to retreat, while a fresh set of riflemen move ahead. Garrison in this house, since I suspect he might be moving up, but he doesn't, so I... and a bit of running around. An incendiary grenade thrown, and a retreat forced. Another main mine laid down here in the middle road.
They're taking one of our points.
Another armored car. And another attempt at garrison, since you can for the most part, unless of course your enemy uses fire against you. And much improve the strength of your men, and at the same time my riflemen are going for received veterancy too, making them much stronger and harder to damage. The armored car suffering some damage from this fire, and an incendiary grenade is thrown, forcing my riflemen out. But at the same time, fresh troops are moved in, and an engineer team is moved in to try and secure the western half of the map. At the same time, the VPs are definitely in my favor, with me having 500 and him only having 261.
Supply lines are broken.
And he has not even tried to capture that VP within his own territory. The armored car pulling out, not able to
enemy unit
take on the assembled infantry force I have. And here's another thing that you're trying to avoid: capping points while under fire. So I'm really doing that. And the assault grenadiers suffering heavy casualties. but forcing my men to retreat at the same time and dying in the process. A posthumous Iron Cross shall probably be awarded to them. The armored car moving ahead, sensing that something's going on in the western part of the map, moving ahead, unwary of the mine that's been placed on the road, and detonating out of control and into a tree. So I regroup once more in my base. I probably should have gone for a medical triage station so I could heal them up, but I did not. That might be something for other players to remember. And here we have the Ranger team, another one moving in.
Grenades have arrived.
And I've gone for grenades now, since I figure I might as well have some extra firepower against the numerous Panzer Grenadiers. But this time, bled dry, only 3 teams. Some equipped with MP44, some not, some with the Gewehr 43, and here suffering heavy losses thanks to the grenade among other things. Western Panzer Grenadier
Sector being
Force
captured.
having ousted my men, but having seen this, I respond with the majority of my force,
Supply lines are broken.
while the Rangers down here
Territory cut off
proceed to
from
take the
supply.
rest of the map, or the rest of this half. And we have a brief lull as my men close in on the Panzer Grenadiers. And as we can see, my opponent doesn't have much left. He's going for something in the Panzer Support Command, but now the attack has begun. The Panzer Grenadiers moving in for the edges, seeking cover of incendiary grenades thrown to deny my men cover. My Rangers moving ahead with the MP40s, Thompson submachine guns, and the Panzer Grenadiers suffer a dreadful loss thanks to grenades. And Maxi leaves, realizing he cannot win at this point, having suffered so high losses. That's rather what I tried. I hoped you could see with this fight, perhaps not the best one, and I'm certainly not the best American player out there, but such a tactic or strategy where you go with heavy Panzer Grenadiers with plenty of MP44s and then armored cars, not really using cover and head-on assaults, you'll generally suffer high losses, teams wiped out, and you'll very quickly be bled dry. So it's something I'd rather recommend people not doing, since in most cases you'll end up, well, like this. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, it would be really nice if you would subscribe. Cheers!